Hello, friends. Rich here at the Gospel Rescue Mission with another GRM staff training. Today, we're working to help individuals and our community to flourish with God leading the way, working through 16 different leadership traits that we want to build into our lives. In fact, today's trait is called building. We're going to begin building programs, building our own character, helping build the character of those that we serve. We're going to help individuals in our community to flourish. And in order to do that, we have to help them build a new life. And that's exactly what God did in our life. He began to build things. He gave us skills, gave us talents, gave us personality. All those things were given to us by God. And when we get those gifts, those talents, it is up to us to invest them, to build them, and to use them. And also do the same with our gifts. Now, some of them are going to be less fruitful than others. But everyone should be flourishing and growing and trying to do the very best they can with what God has given them. And that's true for all of us. So here's some tips on how you can begin building. Well, again, whether that's a program or it's your own life. So first of all, we're going to begin with the end in mind. What do you want to have accomplished at the end of this week, this month, this year? What do you want the end of your life to look like? So if I want that to be true, I need to be working on that. What do I need to do today to make that come true? So I like to begin with the end in mind for the end of the week. What do I want to have accomplished by the time I call it quits for the end of the work week? What do I want to have done? What do I want to have done in my personal life, in my work life, in my spiritual life? All those things. What do I want to have accomplished? Begin with the end in mind. Create that picture in your head. And it should include something that's physical, mental, spiritual, and social. It should encompass everything, your entirety of who you are. Begin with the end in mind. From there, we go on and we study. What does it take for me to do that? I want to be healthier. Then what sort of vitamins should I be taking? What sort of food should I be eating? What sort of exercise should I be doing if I want to be healthier? If I want to be a bodybuilder, that's one set. If I want to be an ultra distance runner, that's another set. If I just want to be everyday healthy, what do I do? Same thing with I want to be more of a man of God. What are the studies I need to do? I just completed a study on King David. He's said to be a man after God's own heart. The scriptures itself tell us that. Well, maybe there's some clues in how he lived his life that will give that to me, and I'm hoping I picked up some of that. I'm able to apply it in my life. So study, prepare yourself, find out what's been done, what hasn't been done. Look at all the detail you possibly can. You can listen to podcasts, read books, all those things we talked about in learning and other tasks that we've covered, that we've talked about before. Then think of the long-term impact. Yes, I plan by the week, but I'm thinking, what if I need to do that this week? So that way next week has this accomplished, or this next month has that accomplished. What does that all take? So consider the long-term impact. Also, if you're making some changes in your life, decide up front, is this something I can do for a really long time? So I know a lot of people get into these fancy diets, and yes, you can do that, and maybe you're going to lose weight over the next week, 2 weeks, months, whatever it is. But the question is, can you continue in that system for the rest of your life? If you cannot, you need to adjust your system so it is something you can do long term. Sometimes short term is going to be okay, but decide that up front and realize that this might have a longer term impact on that. So consider the long term impact of whatever plan that you are building, whatever lifestyle choice you're making. How does it impact my family? How does it impact my work life and my play life? What does it all impact? Consider the long-term impact. And then, of course, pray about it. Take some time to go to God and say, God, what would you have me do with this piece of my life that I'm building? Jesus, you be the architect of my life. You design what I'm supposed to do and to be. This program that I'm building, what should I think about? How should I apply it? When should I apply it? All those are legitimate questions to bring to the King of Kings and say, what would you have me to do in this situation? So definitely pray about whatever you come up with. And then discuss that plan with others. A lot of times in our own head, we think we hear the voice of God, but once you start discussing it out loud, you realize, no, that was just my imagination. That was just me thinking outlandishly. So do discuss this with others and try to get their input and feedback. Most of the time, most people are going to be very supportive or encouraging or ask you questions maybe you didn't ask. So that way when you make this building, it's something that's going to be on a solid foundation, something that's going to be able to stand the storms and the difficulties, because every plan, whether that's for my own life, a program plan, or whatever it is that I'm building, that it's going to have difficult and challenging days. if I have not discussed it, if I have not prayed it over, if I haven't thought through the long-term impact, as soon as it gets difficult, I'm out and I'm quitting. So we want to discuss all those things. And finally, I want to take a moment here just to thank you again for all the work that you do here at the mission. I encourage you to plan, to build a program for your own life, a program for the guests that you serve. If you're on the rescue team and you're creating a contract, think of that as building character in their lives, building their programs. That way it serves them very well. So again, thank you so much, and I look forward to serving with you in the days and weeks and months and years to come.